Hey, Ray Martin here for Church of the Ascension Family Life. If somebody told me that there was this simple solution out there that relieved anxiety, fear, depression, and it was known to strengthen my marriage to the point that it was less likely to break down, I'd think to myself, well, how do I buy a bottle of that? But the truth is that it's not a pill or a product, but rather an uncomplicated thing that we all can do. Pray. Prayer is a powerful tool. In this final installment of the Marriage Shield, we come to the third F, which is faith devotion. Previously, we covered fidelity and fiscal stewardship, but faith is that magic ingredient that has such a profound influence on our behavior that it guides our choices to be faithful to our marriage and responsible stewards of our finances. In the choice wine, Steve Bowman's father-in-law, if you recall, Riley Leggett, advised him to sit with his family in church every Sunday. And this wisdom has a tremendous impact on a family. Couples attending weekly church services have a divorce rate 60% lower than those who never attended church services. Why? Because going to church changes the behaviors that lead to divorce. Infidelity, using money foolishly, substance abuse, all those things decrease significantly when you regularly worship with your community. Now, people who pray regularly experience the following changes in their brain both during prayer and afterwards. It reduces anger, fear, and anxiety. It makes one more empathetic and compassionate. It strengthens a person's sense of self, and it leads to lower levels of things like loneliness, depression, anxiety, substance abuse. Prayer changes you. It changes you as a person, and therefore it also changes your marriage. The General Social Survey used in the choice wine found a baseline of close to 30% of couples experiencing a marital breakdown. This included newlyweds, and so they hadn't really been married long enough to know whether or not they're going to stay together or not in that study. And the national average today is closer to 40% or more. But here's the statistical rundown of how the Marriage Shield protects your relationship. Couples who don't cohabitate prior to marriage and are faithful reduce the likelihood of marital breakdown from around 30% to only 11%. And this is why infidelity is the greatest threat to your relationship. Attending weekly worship drops the rate to 9%, and praying daily takes it down to only 5.9%. Now, many people who are fiscally responsible have earned a certification or bachelor's degree, and combining that with fidelity and faith brings the probability down to nearly zero. So considering that the foolish use of money is the second leading cause of marital breakdown, it makes sense. The Marriage Shield covers three topics that people don't really like to talk about: sex, money, and religion. But that's because these are the leading cause of problems in a relationship. Now, Steve Bowman says that if you can nail these three areas of your life, that it's going to nearly divorce-proof your marriage because it's going to substantially lower the probability of a marital breakdown. Now, in our first discussion on the Marriage Shield, we covered that married people are generally happier, healthier, and wealthier than average. Spending time at the dinner table proved to not only save us money, but is also a huge benefit to our children, which is why protecting marriage is so critical to the future of our community, making it all the more important to protect following the three F's, which are fidelity, fiscal stewardship, and faith devotion. These are the three F's of the Marriage Shield. And faith is that intangible spirit that changes us into better spouses. I hope that you'll take the three F's to heart and think about the wisdom shared by Riley Leggett, that we should be eating with our family each night and going to church with them every Sunday. And I can't stress enough how important it is to be engaged in your church community, because we're here to cheer on your family life. It's hard to break habits and change the way that you're doing things, but a little bit of effort every day is going to keep you on the path to a lifelong and holy marriage. We'll see you next time.